Callum, disappointing way to lose the game this afternoon. 3-2 defeat to Cleethorpes. The first real starting point is what did you make of that second penalty decision?
Personally, I can't. From what I'm just looking at the immediate lad's reaction. I'm just in front trying to have made the block just prior to that. I mean, going off straight away, the glance where I've took and the way their lads played on, from what I've seen, and the guys he put it over the bar, and only then when the rest blew whistle, they're like, trying to claim and get onto his back. I think the referee's made his mind up, but I can tell you from the past, the linesman's there to help him out. Controversial decision, 5 minutes left, at least have a chat, say, what did you see anything? That's where they've got to come together. It's a big decision. As the goal higher in the leagues, the stakes are bigger. So it's got to be stopped beforehand. Okay, and yeah, we could blame the refs all we want, but we've got to take responsibility for how it gets to that point. How we've had 2 or 3 chances to tackle him. We can't just blame referees. We've got to take responsibility because last season things like that didn't happen, and we've got to up our levels a bit to make sure that they don't get chances like that, or we don't put the opportunity for the referee to give away something like that.
Well, 2 penalties in that second half later on. First one was half a challenge, hanging a leg out, and then the second one, obviously, you've just mentioned there was 2 or 3 times where that ball should never have even been struck.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, it's hard. You in this league, there's a lot more clever people. People have played higher, more experienced. I mean, you probably look at squads and there's a lot less young lads. You don't see people who are just coming out of academies. People have to have experience in this league, or almost all people have got experience in that league higher or just coming through. But you've got to be a bit. You're wary of that. People are going to be a bit more clever, and you see it all the time. People trying to buy fouls, and I think as by the time we've got to take sometimes in the league, because we're sometimes a bit nice and we don't play well. When we get that touch, we don't take it down, and it kills us sometimes. But yeah, 2 or 3 chances, we know that we should do a bit better. I think after the first one, people are a bit wary of putting that foot in, because the referee, the way he spoke to us, it was like, his back's up a bit, and he's not in the best of moods, and he's easily influenced, and all it takes is a couple of lads to shout at him, and it worked for us sometimes. A couple of shouting at him, and then he's influenced. He gives it your way. That's just how it sort of goes sometimes.
And obviously, it's 4 league games without a win now. What did you make of the overall performance this afternoon?
If you cut it up into different spells, you could say we played well here, played bad here. Like the first 15 minutes, I think we've opened up pretty well, looked very positive. And then you look at the sort of second half, the first half, but the second half of it, I'm starting to get more involved, and I'm thinking, right, we've got to wake up here. And then going in the second half, I mean, I'm speaking to the defenders, and we say, look, we do our job here, and we win the game. It's a clean sheet. That's all we need to do now. And it wasn't done. But if you look at the overall performance, it's again, sometimes after we've spoken, we think we're a bit too nice, but we've got to be louder, in my opinion. I think sometimes it was quiet, or we looked leggy, and it sometimes we looked a bit disjointed. Balls over the top, people thinking they're not in the right position, people not pulling each other in, and it will click, and it does click for every team. Teams have spells, like the start of the season when we're kicking on really well, and I think like last time I said in the programme, we were on, confidence was flying. We're still full of it, but it's just got to click that little bit, and it takes 1 or 2 results, because that could have easily went our way. The last 2 or 3 games, they could have very easily come our way, and we could have came out with 9 points. Okay, but it takes just that little bit of luck, like the first goal today. Okay, we thought heads are perking up. Once we got the second perking up again, just takes that little bit to get us over the line at the moment.
Looking ahead now, Dunstan on Wednesday night, big game, and then the FA Cup game. We need to get back to winning ways, don't we?
Yeah, and look, the lads will come into training straight away, and I mean already the lads will go sit down in the clubhouse now and have a chat and talk about things that went well, and people will not just, right, what we're doing tonight, lads, but people will speak about it, and they'll talk over what they disagree with, and it's a very mature conversation. Like straight away we're talking about the first goal. I'm asking my defenders, do you think I should have got that, or what happened from your view? And obviously I'll ask you guys for the video or see it online, and we'll all speak to you and go through it. And that's going into those 2 games. We really just need to knuckle down, just sharpen up a bit in training. I think the training's been good, but when it comes to games, I think we just be a bit more lively. It feels like a bit more at the moment. Everyone's concentrating on themselves. Okay, because we were a bit like, oh, okay, I need to step up my game, rather than last year we know we were a bit comfortable and we could start worrying about everyone else and pulling other people around.
Just a word on the fans as well. Over 600 here this afternoon. Fantastic, isn't it? Just to see how many people are turning out.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, I've obviously got them behind my goal. It's great to see, and I mean, it sounds cliche to say, oh, they make the difference, but they do. And it's the way the club wants to be run. It's community ran, and it all gets put back into the club and to make it bigger and better. And to see them there, they do get in their heads, as we've seen at the end. It does influence their mood and the way they play and we play. Gives you a lift. Like when we score the second goal, you immediately see the players start riding around, putting in that little bit extra energy, and that's because of the ones at the side, the ones behind my goal in the second half. They're really lifting it and jeering on, and that's sometimes the edge that decides a game. Just that it can put that little bit of energy, you can make a game that's gone flat really high tempo again, because we hear everything that's said.